Okay, people. We will tell about the thoughts about the celebration update. How if it was good or bad. Well, in my opinion, this part of the game was not that bad, especially at the beginning, because the game was lacking in some sort of like events, some balances, like in the special mission. If there are missing challenges, and of course the fever. When you collect fever items with the fever, it was way lower than that. And I do remember I used to have skater rather than spy, and I believed later on the game became better and better. And not just that, in later updates they actually bring out the global goals, which was a very big update. And besides of that, some new locations, such as the Fredonia, which was the first time they bring it in this part of the game. And the achievements, of course, where you can actually double your night cards, but before you couldn't actually double them up. And of course, besides of that, you remember those limited rooms that they every time a special mission is over, or at some point they just come out. Well, apparently some of them was with the stars, that you actually, when you do missions, you earn a star based on your rank and your difficulty. And then although that you actually run and you get a pull with certain cards depending your agent rank. And this is not just all. If you do remember about agent rank, before it was a lot more difficult, because you do have to collect a lot of stars to actually reach max rank. But I believe somewhere in March or April, or not actually, somewhere in September or like there, they just balance that one, and instead you have to collect like 45 stars per rank, and you depends your spy points. If you have if you have more costumes unlocked, then you can actually progress further. And of course, besides of that, we do remember those Despicable Ops, if you do remember. I believe so in March during the special mission, I guess, Rumble in China, they just added those chapters up to chapter 40. And yes, some of them were definitely difficult. While actually at the end, like chapter 40, 39, 38, those were the most difficult ones, because you have to be so smart. You have to choose a very good character. And let's not just forget about the workout room, because the workout room, well, that's not a big deal, because in workout room it was a little bit disappointing, because whenever you score up a score, you don't get the reward. All you get, it's just your league promotion, just that. And because this part of the game was lacking in events, well, it wasn't that competitive as usual, but it was also friendly, because you actually get tokens a bit better. But if Jelly Lab a bit, it's just was a much more competitive, because you just earn tokens from events and so on. And we're just actually gonna explain. Some of the cards were difficult to obtain, some of them not, but and I'm gonna showcase the features that they added then during the celebration update. Alright, here it comes. Remember the first special mission, 5-year celebration? Well, that special mission was one of the hardest ones, and it was actually at the beginning of the game, if you guys remember it. Because that special mission was just the beginning of the celebration update, well, some of the features were not available just yet from this part. Apparently, if you see, the rewards were lower, but if you take a look on the stage 6 of the special mission, apparently the rewards were a big difference compared to the real thing. Like look, apparently on the characters that's okay, but those, did you guys know the tickets were a little bit improved, that's what I think. And the tokens, because 300 tokens to actually finish up a stage 6, well, that was not a pretty much of a good thing, and that was improved later on. So instead you just get like 600 tokens each time you finish stage 6 of the special mission. And of course the special mission was not having a one-on challenges. That was probably a very brutal special mission, because fevers were weak, and I remember I was scared, but I supposed to spy because I was not thinking about it, because the game was, the part of the game was so new to me that I was not I just forgot about spy. So yeah, that time it took me a lot of tokens so I can finish up this special mission, because without the lack of challenges, then that one actually took me probably a long time. Well, this is not just all, because I reached stage 6 here for the first time in this celebration update. It was so difficult. Apparently this was the first market of this. Apparently the market was just okay for me, but I was just choosing not the great characters on this one, if I remember. Like, I was just like choosing a random car rather than getting the right one. For example, Sea Dog was it's a must-have card. Spy, yeah. And of course, if you watch that, you see I was just like a week away from running out of time, because if you guys remember, I finished the special mission on the final day, and yeah, I was a little bit worried. I'm thinking I was not able to do it, but I managed to do it. And if you take a look on the tokens, that one cost me a lot of tokens. I just perhaps spent 7,000 tokens for this special mission so I can pass it. Imagine that way, because we was not having challenges here at all. And I do remember that pod was not perhaps giving a fever or something. I just don't know it. And of course, I don't know if this was the worst special mission, but it was very difficult, and some people actually were not able to do it. But things changed later on. So about the challenge room, well, the challenge room was not a bad option, because Jelly Lab did not have that one. And the thing about the daily challenge is that you do earn rewards. Well, it was just actually a good idea, because doing challenge room every day with when you can use perks at all, but you have to be careful when you run, because you have a limited amount of tries. You actually have 2 tries, because the room closes and as you fail, and you're not gonna able to progress for the day. That's what I think. And I do remember, and I believe at this part of the game, I used a few minutes in the challenge room. Well, I was just playing around. I remember that was one of the oldest accounts that I used to have it. And of course, if you guys remember the part here, for example, instead I missed the jump, and I says, are you kidding me? I was just thinking, wow, are you kidding me? How did that happen? Are you kidding me? Come on, you're supposed to jump. If you see that. Apparently before this one, this was the first limited room before the next special mission, when they added the Greene Minion. And I do remember there, if you run, you actually get a reward, a pole with cards. So this was perhaps a room where you not get any stars or rolls when you completed it, and it's based on your rank. The higher the rank, the better. And also, if you remember this a little bit, if you have costumes ability here to use it in certain situations, for example with the banana vacuum, then you have to use a banana vacuum character. because if you use a splitter character, then it's not it won't be effective as usual. And I do remember that I used to have Lucy level 2, but I still have the ability to upgrade, but I was lacking banana coins. So yeah, it took a while to actually level him up every characters. And yeah, I do remember this part of the game that I just received a fake copyright claim by someone, but I just disputed, and they just realized that was my copyright, and it wasn't the other one. And yeah, that's why. Alright, here comes a special mission called the Movie Night the Grinch. So that was the second special mission, and of course the first minion called Greene. If you guys remember the Greene character, well, the game slowly starts to be okay. And of course there was the option to actually get a little more tokens, but here was the reward, which it wasn't that great. But you know, Greene was really, you know, funny, but it can be good at some point, because in some updates Greene was necessary for some events especially. And if I remember correctly, I used Spy this time, and you know, again, lack of challenges, that's the problem, which makes the mission a little more different. But here about the market this time, well, you know, these guys, Skater, well, I wouldn't get Skater role, but I do remember here it was like Sucker Fan, Greene. There weren't that great cards there, but you know, this guy was also there too. So I was just farming green cards. I can actually unlock him. But here we go. So yeah, this was special mission the Grinch, which it was another brutal mission, because without the challenges it was a lot difficult. Then came out the Hack Holidays and Mission Strike Brat special mission. If we do remember correctly, that one was with the Coder Minion, and the Coder Minion was actually a very useful character. But you know, the game slowly became better, and better. And remember, this challenge was not this special mission was not having challenges at all. If you guys remember here, there I used some sort of a music which was copyrighted, so I just muted it. So so the Holiday Lab, well, apparently I enjoyed this area, because that was the second time I just went in this location, because one time was in Jelly Lab, but some people will actually remember this place, because I do remember this place was also in the veteran era, you know, before Jelly Lab. And the market right here, well, the market was okay. Even Spy, well, apparently Millionaire, you know, Millionaire, Spy, and Coder, and they just added the batch of coins. They was called seasonal coins thing, but they call seasonal coin batch, so they just instead name it later batch of coins. So I was focused on Spy, because you know, it was pretty much for the thing. You know, the market was okay, it wasn't that bad. You know, Spy here was so important to acquire them, because it makes things easier. And this is not just all, the special mission was lacking in challenges again. And you know, it was another time when you have to face the special mission. And here, as the rewards, well, the rewards was the same thing, but when you reach stage 6 things, it's still the same thing. While Mission Strike Brat came out and was the first special mission of this year, I mean into 2019. So I just recorded it when the special mission started immediately. So yeah, that time was 1st January. And of course I was just watching my timer, my clock, to actually be able to progress some, you know, do some progress. But this is not just all. If you guys remember, I guess this special mission was when you use the fever in milestone 2 in the first stage. Okay, so they added Ghost here for the first time, which Ghost was so important here because Ghost increases your jumps. So yeah, there was somewhat of a bug here because you know, I heard from people that this bug was unintentional. Like, when you're about to use the fever, the game gives you one even if you don't have it, and then it just asks you to use it. And then how that happened is that people just leave the game, and when they start again the mission, the game gave to them another fever, and they just accumulate until they just no longer need, so they can finish the special mission. So you know, that was a kind of a you know, a bug that I was not able to figure out what it was, but it was only available in this part of the special mission. Just that. So yeah, the rewards also were the same, you know. So apparently during the rumble in China, the game has gotten a little bit of a new improvement. They added their Despicable Ops. They started to add chapters there, and of course the Spy Minion, which was another great character. To be honest, it wasn't just all, it was one of the best characters because of the ability. And this is not just all, was when they just bring out the Despicable Ops, and at some point in some missions you will require to use a character, especially a weak one. And from the free price prod, from the video ad prod, you actually got a chance to earn the new character's card whenever it's released, but it's a low drop rate. So later on some of the character's abilities were improved, but that was later, I think after this update, because you know, the Spy Minion was only 300% as epic, but later on they just buffed up a little bit, because 300% was a little bit low, because you know, in the original game it's 400% more. And yep, it was a must-have character. So they also, if you guys remember, the achievements they were added here, but however you couldn't actually double the cards before, but now you see that there wasn't the option to double your cards. You know, you just see there that when you click that, you automatically get it. So yeah, so that's a little bit of a bad thing. Here was the festival. Well, it was not available yet, but you know. So okay, wait, let me just see what's going on. Let me see a little bit. There, I think they just buffed up the rewards, and you know, they buffed up the rewards, and of course you know, if you remember, that was 4,520, and now they just reduced for 4,070, and no, that's a little bit easier. But challenges, I don't think they added challenges just yet, because you know, every time when you do challenges, milestone 2, 3 and 5, they were available. So Factory's back special mission, well, it came out after the rumble in China, so apparently there was the first time they just bring it to the special mission in the Vector's Fortress. But first of all, this special mission was in between residential area and Vector's Fortress, so apparently 4 stages were in residential area, while 2 of them were in the Vector's Fortress. So apparently that was a pretty interesting mission, though. Although the rewards in the market was just okay, but no spy here. Well, and then for example, I have to require some characters because I was not able to get them. but the rewards here was a little bit improved there. But you know, the Minion encoder, yep. And I believe the challenges they just added later on. So here goes the Spring Break special mission, where they bring up not only the new character called Bunny, which was a good character, but they also include up something new. They just added more chapters from the Despicable Ops. They buff up some characters as well. If you see here, Striker got an upgrade, Spyro, Lucy, of course. Well, unfortunately, Lucy before was 200% bananas, but she got a better upgrade. But you know, and Spyro as well got an upgrade too. Instead of 300, is now 400, 500%. So you know, that was a very high bonus. So apparently the Bunny in this case was a must-have, because he was the only character who had that ability, and you know, there shows the recommendation that on the special mission, so they just added the recommended characters and the non-recommended. But apparently the game there decided to choose Ninja as to be the worst character in the special mission. And they should put it on the non-recommended, because he doesn't help collecting items with that. So you know, the Bunny was a must. Well, the market was not okay, not that great. Well, you know, it was Ghost and Bunny and Greene a little. You know, not pretty much what good thing here. So the Happy Easter special mission apparently just happened again in residential area. This was not just all. Apparently. Yeah, I was just forgot to speak because for some different reasons, but the market was okay. So yeah, Spyro, sucker fan. But here, for example, that I just tell them that you can't have everything here. But remember, you can't have all of them because of the limited market tickets. Also, the spy was here too. So yeah. So this is not just all. This special mission was it was a good one, because whenever you finish a stage of the special mission, you just earn spy cards in the whole process. So if, for example, spy was very valuable, a lot of spy cards though. So I just calculated, just like 40 approximately. But it all depends the character, because it can't be spy all the time. Also, remember the Bonnie quest room, that there were characters that you're supposed to have them, because it was a restricted room where you actually get the challenges depending how far you go. So for example here, if you do collect stuff, if you do quests, you actually earn tokens. And if for some reason you actually couldn't, here for example it was a limited event, and it was restricted, and I believe at the end you're supposed to have the astronaut minion with perhaps Pistol or Bonnie. But you know that some of the characters I just put them on low level, because you probably don't have to just use the ability. You know, you have to use the power up more often. But you actually earn tokens, cards, and all, etc. Oh, you remember the Cow's Secret Life special mission? That one happened in the mall before downtown. Before it happened, you know. So apparently it happened in the mall. So, and they added also another 10 chapters in Despicable Ops. And they had also the superhero was an amazing character and a must-have one, because of he was a big upgrade than that, because that was very weak and was just like 100% mirrors with the Mega Minion, and it was another must-have. This is not just all about that one. Yep. So the market, another spy cards. Well, it was not only generous, but you know, I was just calculating how many spy cards I have so far, because I'm thinking of level him up to level 6. But you know, I was just focusing on superhero, because you know, superhero was so important in this case. And Bride of Frankenstein was there too, but you know, you can actually get him from the first room every time when you completed it with 3 stars. And apparently that was the time when they added the 1-room challenges. So that was a new option. So from this part of the special mission, they started getting these challenges, and makes the special mission a lot easier. And this means more items. And of course, if you manage to get the extra items by going to the final milestone before you actually when you're supposed to get 1 item and you're doing the challenge, then you get those extra thick items. And you know, nothing new, nothing special. So the market here was just okay, but no, you know, spy was not here anymore. So you know, superhero, millionaire, sea dog, etc. Yeah, you know, nothing new. You know, just challenges and so on. So when they added the Fredonia update, they also added Nico, and of course, besides that, they added extra 5 chapters in the Despicable Ops. Apparently here, Nico, he was pretty bad, because you actually, it's only useful in rush avoiding missions, which you know, it wasn't that actually optional, but you know. But if you remember, Nico cards actually can be acquired from the global goals each time you complete. And yeah, daily tasks, of course, they changed later on. And of course, Fredonia was the first time they added in the celebration update. Well, I was just impressed, because this is the first new location they added, because they haven't bring a new location for a long time. And yeah, that was pretty good though. And the market about this, the market was just not bad, because you know, spy was there. And also they had just the option to get cards where you have to, when you collect it, for example, bundle, if you play in the special mission, or it shows a card in the market, and if you actually have to buy pods to actually have a chance to get him. But you know, some of the cards you couldn't acquire them because you have to do from achievements, you have to do from the challenge room, and you know. And I remember back in the day when I started doing the first Smash Prize pods opening, and yes, I remember I did all of this in order to acquire Spy, to actually level him up. And yes, thanks to those pods, I actually leveled him up to level 6. But also you get, besides of that, all the characters. The Piggy Run came back, the Minion Park one. Yeah, you know, there I remember I switched my blue stacks into Nox, because blue stacks was so heavy. And you know, I like Minion Park so much. So here was the market. Apparently Striker, Soccer Fan, well, those characters were pretty okay. They were actually good, while the rest were just bad. Well, yeah, bad. From the Minion Scout Special Mission, they bring the final 5 chapters into the Despicable Ops, and then no more chapters. Despicable Ops used to have 40, and now this is not just all. They also started getting characters that were probably weak. For example, Scout, in this case, which it wasn't that great because because I have Friday Frankenstein maxed out that time. Then in this case he gets a bonus when you don't use the ability just yet. But Friday Frankenstein was a little bit different. But also happened in the volcano. So also the market. It was a bad one. It was a bad one. The only useful character was Minion, but I don't remember before Minion for me was a little bit useless because I have tourists at level 8. And yeah. And then I just tell that it wasn't a good market at all. Because, I was disappointed because of spy cards. This one was perhaps the worst market ever. Yep, the worst one. Yep, there was a little bit of a failure because I tried to bring spy to level 6. Like, look, I tried. And I was unlucky enough. If you see here, I was just 4 cards away from having him level him up. Just that, imagine. Yeah, I was unlucky. But however, I tried my luck later on and I was able to actually make him level 6. So chapter 40 here was the hardest part of the Despicable Ops. Yes. Not to mention there were boss battles in this chapter because you had to fight bosses after 2 missions. And for example, this one very difficult objective. If you didn't have Bride Frankenstein, it will just go for a bad time. So this is why I have to use him. So apparently I use him in this mission to actually manage to destroy the objective. So what I did here is use your evil minion before the boss because it did count. Even if you destroy those obstacles that spawns during the battle, that thing still counts as a despicable action. And of course there were also missions that you're supposed to beat a boss many times, like this one, beat Mina 12 times. So I had to use the launcher so I can speed up because there were no characters having the ability to increase boss fights, like in the Jelly Lab. And then the undercover special mission that came out. This special mission was happening in 3 locations. First was the prison, then the El Macho lair, and then at the beach. The market wasn't that actually great here. It wasn't that great. I must say it was another worst market. Well, very few characters were useful there. Sea Dog. And of course, remember this special mission. It was just another bad market though. But also I remember that part of the special mission. This update was before they just balanced the stars that you're supposed to acquire them when you rank up your agent rank. And this is the part where those global goals were being introduced. When you complete them, you earn rewards, and you can actually double them, but not just cards and Well, the thing is about that was that they reduced the difficulty of acquiring stars. If you see here on the agent rank thing, because they just reduces a lot, which makes upgrading your rank a lot easier. Yeah, it was so easy. Alright, so the Halloween special mission was the one. So apparently he had a mummy, which wasn't a good character here if you do have ghost. So yeah, they added out the new special mission called Spooky Night. Apparently this special mission was not only great, but I do remember this part of the special mission. I used to mess up with the evil minion, and what I mean. It was so funny, but I do remember this market was by far the best. Was the best market. So apparently, I mean, it was a good market, but because superhero, spy girl, millionaire, coder, that thing has caused me so I can make this video to mess around while doing the special mission. Imagine that was just a crazy thing to do, because whenever I pick it up, a power up, this will cause me to just lose the power up and just fall. And yeah, it was just a crazy time for me, and I was just thinking to do it as a video, because it's just crazy. This bug should just exist until now, and yeah, that was just a crazy bug. I just burst in laugh so hard. That laugh so crazy. I just laughed until I cried. Really. Like that was probably my most comical part of the special mission. With the skeleton flying, Wanda just falling down with the skeleton. With the fake skeleton. I just look so crazy. But I remember I used to have a voice changer here. As for it was Halloween. That was just a crazy part of my life. I just laugh. I just laugh like a crazy guy. Well, they're recording on my brand new phone because I had a little bit of an issue on my computer. So I was playing the special mission on my phone for a while. It was just temporary. It was more Marin. It happened in Gru's lab. So the market here, for example, well, it's okay. It was okay, but Spy. I was just wondering Spy where it was because I just tell a message to Camelot that it is so essential to listen to us because Spy was not in the game for a long time. And yeah, not to mention that the market was okay, but Spy, I was just grinding Spy so much. And then another Christmas update with the elf minion in the holiday lab again. This one was my favorite character along with Lucy, so I decided to have him very soon. And this is not just all. They also bring up a new lobby music which I recorded, if I remember. It was a Christmas lobby music, and that one, well, when I listened, I was speechless. I was speechless because I never ever heard that music at all. So I was just thinking that I should record that music anyway. And then, the market here, it was okay. The elf minion, the millionaire. Well, apparently Greene was here available as well. But I just love the design of the elf minion. So yeah, the market was okay. Greene, lifeguard. Also Scaron, leotard. I was just not touching Scaron the whole time. The Arctic vacation returned. Yeah, I remember the time that I started to record my videos with a webcam for the first time. Yes. And there was the Arctic vacation special mission, which we do remember it was in the Arctic base. And This time the market was a lot better than the previous one because of the introduction of the spy. I was just happy to see it because spy was not for a long time. But you know, it was also Santa, was also Elf. You know, I was happy because, you know, spy for me was a must. It was a good market though. Of the Dragon Special Mission. Well, they started out when they changed the, you know, the power up ability. I mean, activate the banana split ability, and of course they added new achievements there. This is not just all. They just also added the character called the Emperor, which, you know, Emperor was one of those characters that you're supposed to have them because the, you know, ability charge. Well, the thing increases your you know, the speed to up there, you know, the speed of your ability to actually use it. And yeah, I was not sure if it was good or bad, but later on I realized that this one was a must-have character. But this is not just all. The Emperor became my second favorite character as well because I just love that design so much. So I was just thinking to just unlock him a little bit faster. But the market here, well, the market could have been worse, but you know, because of the Emperor, it was okay. It, you know, could have been worse. Silent Nights in the Volcano, the Mega Banana Special Mission. I remember I was playing at 3 AM, yeah, or maybe 2 AM. I think it was 3 AM for sure. I was just playing, then I was just awake that time, but I just fell asleep and lost some time. So yes, I do remember this special mission was before that bug happened after the new update. Market here was actually great because, you know, superhero, millionaire, and spy, they were just good characters, and of course the Emperor was there too, you know. And even the snorkeler, that was before spring came out. So yeah, that wasn't bad. Bad market though. So the Pirates Ahoy special mission, that one was just when the problem with the virus became available. So yeah, things has changed. And then in this part of the game they added two characters, one pirate and then the spring, which both of them were great. The pirate minion was, you know, another good character, just like the Emperor, but in this case he has this fluffy unicorn. And also the spring character, the spring character was also, you know, a good character because the ability was way better than Snorkeler, and of course at some level she was getting better than Snorkeler. But you know, 30% bananas in the beginning, that one was fairly weak, so they just buff up later on. So, you know. And the market in this special mission, well, here it is. The market was okay. You know, of course, because I just focused so much on the special mission, because I just managed to finish the special mission way faster than usual. And yeah, I believe I finished the special mission in 6 days or 5, you know. Alright, so the springtime special mission, another time in residential area, but you know, the abilities, they added also you know, a good character here, the spring minion, which we can actually get her cards by now. Also, this market was by far a perfect one because of the spy, spring. There were so many good characters in this market. The spy minion, the millionaire, the elf, the spring. Well, the problem is that you couldn't get all of every cards here, so yeah, you just need to choose wisely. It also shows out that it was the bunny, So apparently this market was good. And I do remember I just skipped Snorkeler because of spring. But, you know, it was a good one. But however, this special mission reminds me that there was a bug in stage 4 when you completed stage 3, especially. If you take a look closely, look. So stage 4, stage 5 and stage 6 were bugged. You notice it on the numbers. Because when you collect an item, you go forward but you lose a lot of items. Trojan Pinata special mission with the Luchador character. But this is not just all. Luchador in this case was a must because he can help you greatly when you have to use the freeze ray ability a lot. And imagine that way because I had to unlock him early. So I just unlocked him all about when I was in stage 5 of this special mission. The market here was somewhat good, somewhat bad. You know, the epics were good, but the rest weren't that great, except Pirate and Luchador because these guys were, you know, good ones. Another copy paste the mini scouts. So this one was camping time. Another time in the volcano. So yeah. Also the market this time was a lot better than the previous year because the previous year was the worst and this one is way better. I should consider this to be a second perfect market. Yes, because you know that was a very nice market, to be honest. And you know, every good market here, the summer contest special mission, which they introduced are 2 minions, the Crow Minion and the Peach Guard, the last 2 minions. Well, one of them was good, while the other one was a bad one. For example, this one, the ability was so weak, it was way weaker than the Sea Dog. While the Crow Minion itself was a very good card, way better than Cardback itself, but you know, because on low level he might not be effective, but you know the bonus is a little bit higher than Cardback's ones. But the durability, the duration is a little bit different here. Also, I remember that the market here, to be honest, the market was just okay. It wasn't that bad. So Millionaire, Elf, Luchador, also Peach Car, you know. So that was and of course that was the penultimate special mission too. Then the Prehistory Tales, which was the last special mission of the celebration update, and this was the last time we just went to the volcano, to be honest. And of course the market was actually a good one, but unfortunately because it was the last special mission, I was not lucky enough with Spy. Because you see that there was the Millionaire, Santa, Spy, Crow Minion. Yeah. So I was not lucky with the Spy this time. You know, because it was the last special mission. So yeah. Although I will remember my accomplishment that I did with my Spy, because I tried to bring him at least to level 7, but it was just difficult. So apparently Crow Minion here was a must. So to be honest, the celebration update wasn't that bad. Especially at the beginning was a little bit bad, but you know, it was just improved later on. But they should somehow just add new features in the adventure update, which will come soon. But I don't know if it's actually gonna consider to be officially the adventure update, because I don't know what will happen next, because there's just only a week away before things will change.